Hello, guys. What's good? I'm a couple of minutes late. Sue me. How's it going, guys? Look at everybody. Everybody's hanging out. What's going on, guys? Yes, it's another Monday. It's another Monday. Thank God it's Dandadan day, guys. Yes, we'll get to the Discord plugs very soon, guys. How's it going? Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Good to see everybody's showing up. Everybody's showing up. It's been one of them days. It's been one of them days. You know what I mean? Right? Like, you know, I don't know. It's funny because it's not like anything specifically in my life is you know, wild, right? It just feels like one of those days, right? And from what I've gathered in the Discord, by the way, guys, link in the description. Join my Patreon as a free member, and you get access to the Discord. Joining that is free, guys. Free. Everything's free except for a few bits and pieces here and there to pad out some of the higher Patreon tiers. But for the most part, those are entirely optional. Entirely optional. And I don't mean optional like the channel. Right, that's extra optional stuff. Yeah, it's just one of those days. You know, I've been working a lot on the video, guys, which still is not written yet, but I did write some fire earlier, right? So it's getting there. It's just a arduous process, right? It's going to be much longer than anything else that I've done. And as a consequence of that, extra added ambition comes with extra added work on top of my actual day-to-day job. So hey, but shit, whatever. That's as far as I'm concerned, guys. Yeah, no, you're quite right, Danny. I want to get it out for around season 2. I ideally the week prior or the days prior to season 2. But if not, then you know, a few days after the first episode. There's Ferry. There he is. He's a dedicated guy. You say what you will about Ferry, he's a dedicated guy. You know? Yeah, it's production it is production, right? Like, again, I'm complaining, and by complaining I mean I'm marginally excusing things or trying to make excuses for the slower production, but at the end of the day, it's a privilege to be able to make the content. It's not like I'm getting tired of it and it's not coming. You know, Barty, I don't know that the chapters are shorter, actually. I think that this is quite a long chapter, actually, to my understanding. It just feels a lot shorter because we're not really doing anything, if that makes sense, right? It's all just a fight. And I like the fights in Dandadan. I like the art in Dandadan. I love everything about Dandadan. You probably already know that. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Is there not a Discord link in the description? Because that would be awkward, wouldn't it? Look at you guys. There you go, Janny, hit him. Yeah, it's just because it's been fight after fight, guys. I think that's why it's feeling as slow as it is, right? Yeah. But yeah, I'm okay, Blissy. Don't worry about me. I'm not like, I'm pushing myself. I'm in crunch mode, right? But there is no link. That's appalling. That's shocking. Actually, I don't know how that could have possibly happened. Let me sort that out, guys. Let me set you up. Let me set you up. Let me set you guys up. Here you go. Yeah, the Patreon link is in the description, guys. Yeah, that's okay. No worries. No worries. No worries. Patreon link in the description, guys. If you the Discord link is not directly in the description, everybody. Gas lamping me. Join the Patreon for free as a free member, and then that's how you get access to the Discord link, guys. Best place on the internet for Dandadan. It's the best place on the internet for all kinds of stuff, if I'm honest. Like, there's lots of really good stuff there. And the people there are excellent, you know? But again, you only need to join as a free member. Nobody has to join as anything but a free member at any point, guys. You know, it's tough living out there. So completely optional, always going to be an optional thing. The most that you get for the higher patron tiers is like occasionally you'll get priority chosen for like games and stuff that we do in the Discord, and you get occasionally you'll get a little bit of insight into production videos and stuff like that. But it's not like I'm a one-man show, right? So don't expect tons and tons of stuff. I try to add as much extra stuff to those higher tiers as possible, but it's just me, so it's not so easy. But I'm sure you guys get that. But anyway, yeah, Patreon description. That's what you want. That's the link that you're looking for, guys. But anyway, everyone is it's one of those days. It's good to see you, by the way, Enigma. It's been a minute, dude. It's been a minute. He's an OG over there, right? And to be honest, a lot of the people in this chat are pretty much OGs, right? Like the average viewership, like concurrent viewership on the streams it floats around 20-ish, but that's a good number. I'm a big fan of that. I apologize, by the way, for the sniffles, guys. I have horrendous hay fever, and it is just playing up horribly today. And I have no mute button, so if you hear anything disgusting, I apologize. All right, I try to be as discreet as possible. No, I'm not getting sick. It's hay fever. Hay fever. It plagues my life forever. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're here, Danny. You know, I like the streams. I like that we get these opportunities, all of us, to just kind of like chill out. So I suppose we should probably look at the panel. I didn't even add that to the link. There you go. Just in case anybody wants to follow along, there's the linky-majig, right? The thingy-mabob. And you're quite welcome for that, guys. It's Dandadan, guys. I mean, to be honest, like I'm looking forward to things progressing in the series a little bit. You know, I love the art. I am getting a little bit kind of like fighted out here, right? Like pretty much all year, this whole arc for the most part, since the this community started exploding, it's pretty much just been, well, since the hiatus actually, it's pretty much just been fight after fight, right? I loved all the stuff with Koki, and they really started off strong. I do think that we're running a little bit over that period for me now. I kind of want some plot, right? Hate fatigue, yeah. Well, to be honest, I thought that they would have some kind of reunion or something by chapter 200, but I'm getting the vibe now that chapter 200 is probably going to be them just getting to the shrine. And maybe some kind of revelation happening. I mean, we've got what? Like we've got 2 weeks. They're not going to do anything massive at this point. Yeah, in 4 years' time, I'm sure the animators are going to love doing this. But learned a lot about typhoons lately. That's true, Jenny. Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, I do think that maybe a little bit of this has gotten kind of bogged down in the way that typhoons work at times. You know? Oh, can you imagine if Okarun was already there? That'd be crazy. It's fine. I think that it might be that oh, that would be cool, Blissey. That would be cool. Something I feel like needs to happen in chapter 200, because it's the same week as the anime releases, which can't be an accident, and it is the big 200. So I feel like something needs to happen, but we'll see. I suppose it could be that that they've got other stuff padded out to line up with. It could be that they've got other things padded out throughout the season that are going to align with the confession. Maybe the last week of season 2, or maybe the hand-holding scenes could align with some kind of something happening in the manga. But we'll see. Chapter 100. I don't recall. I think 100 was pretty squarely in the Space Globalist arc, wasn't it? All right, 100 is where Vemola got iced, like she got stabbed through the stomach by the cur. That's 100. So I hope it's not like that. I hope it ain't like that. Right? I'd prefer not. I'd prefer not that for 200, if that's cool. Right? Because Vemola is about here. I don't want to get stabbed again. You know? Yeah, Vemola is still on the plane, to my knowledge. I can't take a 2-month break. No, I wish I could do what you're describing, Enigma. I can't do it. Also, look, I need to be here every week, guys. I need to dance like a monkey on screen for you guys. I can't do that once every 8 weeks. I could, but it probably wouldn't be as you know, we'd lack the touch point per week. All right. But yeah, we should probably start this, right, guys? We're about 15 minutes in and we've not even looked at panel 1. To be honest, I think this might be a bit of a quick one, to be honest. If you feel like don't play eye to eye. Yeah. Oh, we'll see in 4 years, eh? Yeah, to be honest, I'm like Tuma, I find the whole keto thing very strange. I find that to be a very strange direction. You know, like a very strange direction that they've taken with the ketos. It's like, oh, they're back and they're wacky now. And also the Mongolian death worm, the Kuragari, it doesn't hurt people anymore because it didn't eat people, so now it doesn't do the evil stuff. It's just a good guy one, and it's like it's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. That a bit convenient, I think. But I mean, yeah, I mean, whatever, I guess. Yeah, it's just a kite now. You're quite right, Jenny. It's just a kite. It's it's bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see where it's going, I guess. I don't think that the ketos can be redeemed so easily, I find. Right? Keto, kite, coincidence? I think not. Yeah, I think it is alive. It's weird that the top half of it is alive when it feels like the bottom half of it was the thing that survived when it got its head cut off before. So I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, right. So the bigger half survives. So like if it's 51% the top half, then that's what survives. I don't know. That's like, where does the divide? Is it an exact 50-50 divide? I don't know. I mean, I feel like the keto showing up here doesn't really promote the film that majorly, right? Like, people who are going to watch it were already going to watch it, and people who were anime onlys aren't going to care that the ketos are in the manga in 4 years' time. Like, so I don't know. I mean, I do think that there is a bit of kind of cross promotion in the sense where there's a minor alignment, but I don't know if like it in any way changed the destination of the plot, right? That's how you get twins. Yeah, can you think of anything more terrifying than a giant flying semi-automatic worm snake firing frozen shark carcasses and piloted by child abusers? I guess I can't. You know what? Fuck it. I guess I can't. No, I can't. That is a good point. That is probably one of the most terrifying things that I could think of. You've got me. All right, this is the... I know, that's... you got me. We might as well just turn off the stream now. We'll just finish the stream now. All right, guys. Sarah got me. She nailed it. The end. That is the most Dandadan sentence. You're right, Enigma. Yeah, it's... To be honest, like... I mean... Also, for the record, it's good to see you here, Sarah. I know that you aren't popping in quite as much, I you know, but whatever. It's just good to see you here, you know? You bring an energy with you, and everybody here appreciates it. I know I do, anyway. I'd say I can't speak for all of them, but I do, and I will. And I do. So we all appreciate you. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, the evil eye thing has been going on for the majority of the manga. Right? Like, it's not been resolved, and we're kind of getting to a point now where I think we kind of have to have some kind of resolution to this, or at least an advancement of it, because it's not really moved much in a while, right? Like obviously JiJi's starting to tap into his power and stuff, but you know, it's not an advancement of his relationship with the eye in any real capacity, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's all right, Sarah. No worries. Don't thank me. Yeah. I know they haven't even fought. They've probably fought in the background, right? Like, stuff happens between the things, but that could be a good, like, omaki, right? I'd like that, Tuma. I think that would be great, actually, if it aligned with the with JiJi's confession. I think that would be a really nice way of promoting it, because especially just as JiJi's about to get a lot of development in the anime when it is released, right? Like, I watched the Evil Eye film or cinematic release, I suppose. It was sick, and I think people are going to actually love JiJi by the end of that, right? Because he's my boy. He's a bit naive, but he's my boy, right? He's a good guy. Apart from that weird stuff in the plane with Zuma, that was a bit weird, bit out of character almost. But you know, he's had a stressful time. Yeah. We just presume in the background that they're having a little fight every now and then. But yeah, definitely, Sarah. Yeah. To be honest, I rewatched episode 7 today. That is a masterpiece, right? Like that is a genuine masterpiece. The Evil Eye stuff is great. And I really like the way that they did it in the cinematic release, but it's a lot closer to the actual source material. They don't wander. They don't wander nearly as much. Whereas the stuff in episode 7, they really spun out from the source material in a way that I think was really worth it. And it is a masterpiece, right? It feels like a short film in a way. It feels like a short film in a way. The evil eye stuff is really nicely done in the anime, and I really like what they bring to it. I like what they bring forward to it. Specifically with the hair and stuff, which I'm not going to elaborate on if not everybody's seen it here. But it's good stuff. Like they add good stuff to it, but not as much. And I don't think it's going to be as impactful as the stuff that we saw in episode 7. At least it didn't feel like that to me. Yeah, Vamola's backstory is gonna go fucking hard in the anime in a year. No, you're right, Enigma. It's still been half an hour. No, he's right. He's right. Okay, right. So the chapter opens with where we left it last time, and where we left it last time was a weird place. They are floating above the eye of the storm, the literal eye of the storm, of this typhoon man, on the hosepipe weather balloon carcass of the Tsuchinoko with the Kito family. Cool, yeah. Yeah, look, guys, I enjoy vibing out. And we'll vibe out after this as well. I don't know that I'm going to do the tier list today, just because I'm a bit drained from writing. So we might just jump straight into the chatting portion today. I'll see how I feel by the end of the chapter. Yeah, Shadow, we didn't even get there, but I might do the tier list. I don't know. I did like doing it last time, but I haven't organized it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm quite bad at organizing my time properly. Yeah, I mean, I think that we're probably going to end the season. On I hope not the kiss. I really hope not the kiss. We don't need that for however long. I would like for it to be ended at on the takoyaki. Let's eat takoyaki. I think that would be the place to end it. Please not on the kiss. Please not on the kiss. I don't want that. I feel like the best place to end it is the introduction of the cur, right? You know, it can't be on the kiss. That's not right. That's not okay. No, we're going to do plot. Goddammit. Okay, here we go. Anyway, Momo and JiJi are having a little bit of a chat. And they've got a plan for dealing with the typhoon thing. And that's to blast it with the evil gun. It's weird that it's called the evil gun. I thought, like, it's such a simple name. The evil gun. As hard as they can. JiJi obviously is on the back of a strange worm thing that is flying through the air, so he can't exactly get a satisfactory angle on it. And so he can't fire his gun, right? I don't know when Momo... I presume, again, this is another off-screen thing, right? Where they have a chat about it, and he's just like, yeah, by the way, I named this the evil gun. Sure, yeah. The evil gun. It's not very creative, JiJi, but that's cool. Anyway, Zuma is an absolute unit, by the way. The guy is blind, and he just kind of like crawls up and stuffs his head up JiJi's back to give him a little bit of like leverage. You know what I mean? He's just like, what is happening? I like his yokai form as well. Zuma is cool as shit, and he's jacked, by the way. This guy is, like, jacked. It's crazy. Yeah, he changed his mind, because he needed to draw from something real, I suppose, rather than some joke, like the Kamehameha, which would have been a joke, right? Did he use the power of the spiral? I don't think he did. What you've been hiding under the coats? I know. Damn. Damn. Fair enough, Enigma. Fair enough. I do think that that Zuma's got a very cool vibe for him. Right? Like, he's got a good thing going on. And I do like... I like JiJi a lot. I do think that there is something about Zuma's character and what drives him that is a slightly more interesting thing, right? There's something more appealing there than what drives JiJi, who is a silly character. And if you like silly characters, that's totally fine. But I do think that Zuma's self-seriousness, but also his dedication to very clearly defined morals is something that I do enjoy about him. Yeah, I like his haircut as well. I prefer it over his previous thing that he had going on. He looks better. He looks better than he ever did, in my opinion. Right? He's rocking it. That's alright, Koga. Good to see you, dude. Yeah. I think Sarah also pointed out that he's wearing like a spiral Uzumaki hoodie, which does pretty nicely like reflect his spirally gun thing. But anyway, he fires it at the eye, and it does hit its target, but the eye just regenerates from the damage, as you do, right? It's a tiny little fly kicking about. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, I opened my window and oh, that is going to annoy the shit out of me. Go. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're not welcome. Sorry. Sorry about that. Look, I'm gonna be honest, guys. My thing is to... I tried to catch it. My thing is to yell at things. I just scream at things when they annoy me or agitate me. 95% of the time, I'm incredibly just mellow, right? But then that 5% intense, right? I'm just shout at stuff. It's, you know what I mean? I want a fly swatter 3000 ever since you mentioned it, Blissy, but I would definitely use it on myself just to see what it's like, and I feel like that's probably not something I should introduce into my life. All right, Eric, no worries, dude. Catch ya. It's always that 5%. It's always that 5%. It's just you happen to see me within those 5%, guys. You know. But yeah, I'd only do it once. If you would just do it and tell me what the results are, then I wouldn't need to do it, would I? But someone's scared of being electrocuted by this fly swatter 3000. Anyway, it regenerates, and then it fires a huge lightning strike up into the sky from its eyeball, which is pretty crazy, and it disintegrates a bunch of the sharks. This is weird. This is so strange. What is happening? What's happening? I don't even know what's happening anymore, man. We can negotiate that. Okay, right, bet. We'll have a chat. All right, this is progress. If you want to find out the results of this Fly Swatter 3000 discussion, no doubt the results will be available on the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, guys, and it's the best place on the internet for Dandadan, ask anyone. Anyone on earth will tell you that. Go down to your local supermarket, your local supermarché, and ask your cashier, right? Not the robot ones, I mean one of the human ones. Ask them, what's the best place on the internet for Dandadan? They'll say Safeties on Rookie Discord. Easy, any day of the week, that's what they'll say. I bet, like, seriously, I bet that's the case. So I do that. Anyway, Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member, guys, and that will get you access to the Discord link. It's popping. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say beyond that. It's pretty popping. You know? Ask anyone. Ask your mum. Even. She knows. Everyone and their mums. Yeah, I don't know. You're right, Tuma. This is just strange stuff. Ask your engineering mechanics lecturer. Your engineering mechanics lecturer will definitely say the Safeties on Rookie Discord is the place to be. Alright? And not just for Dandadan. For all kinds of stuff. For all kinds of stuff. We do all kinds of things there. I burned down a village in Minecraft the other day. That was fun. Everybody liked that. You know? Everyone and their mums is firing sharks around here. Yeah, your mum probably knows. Ask your mum. Ask my mum. Ask any mum. If they're... Seriously. Anyway. Back to the thing. Also, I look this way now. Since moving around my setup, I used to look that way. Now I look this way. Pretty crazy stuff. There are always wild things happening here, guys. I'm pretty crazy. What am I going to do next? What is he going to do next? He moved his monitor from the right side to the left. What's next? You don't know. I don't know. I'm scared of what it will be next. God damn. Anyway, they're all shocked that it can use lightning strikes, as am I, and apparently they can't survive that. And the gun isn't effective, so they need to re-strategize and come up with a new plan. And Safeties on Mama. I don't like that. I don't like that. Milk before cereal. Ew. Ew. Oh my god. Ew. That's like freaking GROSS. Alright, Angle. No worries. Mom. I want to join the Discord, Mom. Anyway. And then for a panel, and look. This is how starved we are at this point for Momo and Okarun content. Alright? When I was reading this earlier today, when it was released, when I was reading this, I got a minor thrill at just seeing Momo and Okarun on the same panel, even though he's in a little thought bubble, right? Ain't good. Ain't good. You know? And what am I meant to say? What's meant to be said at this point? That's enough to send me to a point of going like, oh, hell yeah, right? That's all it takes apparently now is to see that, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same illustration as was used a few chapters back, right? Which I loved, by the way. That was a great little illustration, actually. Where is it? Sorry, I'm just going through the chapters trying to find it, but I can't, and I can't be bothered overdoing it. It's the same drawing. I did like that drawing a lot. Momo looked really cute in it, because she was kind of like unfazed by it. But yeah. The point is that the this is the thing, right? It's literally just, this is how starved we are for this content at this point. That this is sufficient for me to kind of go, yeah, that's kind of a moment. It's not. As a community, guys, we've not had a Momo and Okarun chapter since we started the Discord. Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member, guys, and you'll get access to the Discord. It's the best place on the internet for Dandadan, better than Twitter. Yeah. Icky, disgusting Twitter. It's better than that place. And, you know, that's not much of a compliment. Me too, Tuma. Me too. We've not had one of those moments as a community. They've not been in the same chapter together. And I've never, outside of going over the old content in the first stream, in the first 4 streams, which were recaps of the arc up until the point of the hiatus, I've never been able to describe a Momo and Okarun moment on here as it's unfolded, right? And I don't know what to do with that information. It's like we're being intentionally starved, guys. I don't know what to say. Somebody get Tatsu on the phone. You know? What was his normal ass do in this situation? No! Okarun, get your powers back, dude. Don't you mean X? I will never call it that. What an awful, awful name for a platform. Oh, you're going to rile me up. I know. No moments. Anyway. Momo instructs Nakikito to use the worm to get a bunch of the sharks and to shoot them at the typhoon itself, because it's a living cryptid, and they need to deal with it. And we see that Nakikito obviously can't see Momo but can hear her. I don't know how she's able to hear her from so far away, but that's fine. Anyway, the plan is to dive straight into the eye of the typhoon. Yeah, that's a good point, Sarah. That's a good point. He said you just voicemail. He's doing that these days. Ever since he blew up, he ain't been the same. You know? They're in the cell. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's weird that he sent you to voicemail when your way of communicating to each other is through 2 cups and a piece of string through a wall. It's weird that they put you to voicemail. I think he's avoiding you. Anyway. He made eye contact with you as he did it. That's awkward. Smoke signals, that might work. Anyway, in reaction to the plan, JiJi is skeptical, because he says that it will just attack them with the lightning again. And Nakikito accuses Momo of trying to get them all killed. Momo, who is ever in charge of the situation, by the way, right? Like, this is something that that I think is great about Momo, actually. She is a very quick thinker in a high stakes situation, right? When she's fighting the Kitos in the Evil Eye film, the way that she moves in that fight is so resourceful. It's really, really cool to watch, and it demonstrates how quick thinking she is in a crisis kind of situation. Leave your Momo Okarun begging after the tone. Beep. But I watched the thing for the second time, the Evil Eye for the second time, right? And in a lot of ways, it was arguably better the second time because I'd done the stream, and that was done. Hi Sevlo, hiya. I think this is the first stream to catch you on, dude, but it's good to see you. I saw that you commented. I think I responded to your comment on one of the videos the other day. Thanks for being here. You know, even if you don't stick around for the whole thing, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Genuinely do. It's great to see. Yeah, no, amazing. Love to see new faces. If you're interested, if it's your bag, and you're interested in Dandadan as much as any of us are, Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member. Not paid, absolutely free, to get access to the Discord link. It's pinned to my profile on Patreon. It's the best place on the internet for anything Dandadan. I swear down, right? Everybody there is incredibly kind. A lot of us, this is our first community being in a community anyway. It is for me anyway. It's been excellent. We're over 100 people there now. It's amazing. So if you're interested in that and that's your bag, please check it out. If not, that's fine as well. Awesome. Awesome. Love it. Love to see that, Sevlo. Anyway, I was watching it for a second time, and the way that, yeah, ask your mum. She'll know. Everybody's mum knows that the Safeties on Rookie Discord is the place to be for Dandadan and a bunch of other stuff. Anyway. What was I saying? I was watching the film. For the second time. And the way that she moves and the way that it's animated it's so good. It's so good. Like, the highest praise that I can give it, and I've already mentioned this in the Discord, is that it feels authentic, like how Cowboy Bebop is animated in a lot of ways. That fight scene feels like a Spike Spiegel fight scene, which is top tier stuff. Like, that is as good as it gets. It feels like actual genuine Hong Kong cinema, right? She just moves really well, and the way that she responds to the situation and the fight feels like it shows off her resourcefulness, and that's what she's developed, right? Maybe not as a leader like Ida, but she's a strategist, I feel. And this is a good example of that. She tells them that she's not desperate and she hasn't given up hope, and that she is fully dedicated to taking out the typhoon man, cryptid. Yeah, mother supports, mum also agrees, but she is famously obsessed with Dandadan. Yeah, I follow Momo into battle. She's only ever done well in a fight. Anyway, and then Momo also says that once it's done, she's going to settle things with the Kitos for good. But for now, they have to work together, which Nakikito does not like at all, and she seems to take umbrage with the notion that she thinks that she can settle things with her. Honestly, hell. I'm glad that we've not just pretended that the Kitos aren't a problem. They are. They burn children for generations. Like, it kind of feels like maybe they're not the kind of guys to be BFFs with in any capacity. So let's not lose sight of that, I suppose, right? I really feel like they have to do something with the evil eye in relation to the Kitos, because that has to be a thing. You can't get through this. They can't get through this situation, this fight, without that being a factor, right? They already kind of alluded to it earlier, but they sacrificed the evil eye, man, as a kid.
I don't know. I feel like there has to be something in here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I hope that they don't just sidestep it, because you don't really get away with those kind of crimes, I find. Because they're pretty unforgivable. Anyway, it's weird that they've gone from the Great Serpent being like a god to being like a bit of a pet in a way as well, right? It's so strange. It's such a strange kind of like thing. Yeah, this feels like it's kind of like aiming to cap off some of the stuff from the Cursed House arc, which has been lingering for a long time, right? Like the Ketos has been a lingering thing for a while now. That's true. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that there is an element of dealing with the Ketos that forces JiJi and the Eye to come to some kind of understanding together, so that JiJi maybe could get a yokai form, right? Like what I'm starting to see with this arc, as I feel like we've definitely passed the midpoint, like the halfway point of this arc. What I'm starting to kind of vibe out from it is that everybody's getting stronger through teamwork, through the bonds that they've got with other people, and it's not necessarily the bonds that you would expect it to be. Momo and Okarun together has been the driving force for their growth, right? Okarun got stronger to try to save Momo in the Space Globalist arc, right? For example. And he also learned how to throw a punch, so that he could like overpower the evil eye, right? But that's back when the team was small. People like Kinta, people like Rin, Koki, they haven't really had a lot of breathing room at all. And by pairing up that group with or the new people with different factions of the classic group, JiJi and Momo, Okarun, Ida, you're starting to see everybody kind of get stronger or more comfortable and get a little bit of screen time in developing their actual abilities, or having a positive influx of influence on the existing members, right? Okarun has accepted his kind of nerdier self, right, rather than just pretending that it doesn't exist, which is really nice because he was never the problem, right? Like his nerdiness was never ever the problem. It was everybody else around him, the world, that was the problem, that made him feel like he should be shunned for it. And embracing that as not being a problem is a massive character thing for him. And he did that through Kinta, the obvious, now I think about it, now that there's some distance from it, he's the obvious guy to help him come to that conclusion, to understand that about himself. Especially fighting Hase in that moment. It was like the perfect pairing. So good. Like, it was so good and such a positive moment for Okarun. Ida and Rin and Koki, all three of those characters developed a lot because of the situation that they were in. Even Ida, I think, got the opportunity to kind of like, not necessarily grow, not exactly, but to show off a little bit more of her motivations as a character, right? Like her desire to be the best. And that had a really positive influence on Koki. And that was for Koki to shine, right? That moment was for Koki to shine. But we also got to see Ida outside of just being with the gang. She's a leader. We get to see that in that moment. And she does a fucking amazing job. This arc feels like it's about people getting stronger or growing through the bonds that they've made with people, which makes me think that it's possible, probably even likely, that JiJi and the Eye are going to kind of come to some better understanding. It's not an accident that the Kitos are here. Surely it can't be an accident that the Kitos are here. Now of all times, I think maybe the Eye learning to relinquish some hate, possibly, and JiJi becoming slightly more connected with the Eye rather than them both being like two halves of a coin. I feel like that there is the opportunity for a little bit of merging between them. It'd be really cool. It'd be really cool if JiJi could get some kind of actual yokai form. I feel like they've been alluding to it ever so slightly by his features changing when he gets angry. Right? I think that it's very possible that we might get something like that for JiJi. Some kind of, if not a yokai form, then something, some kind of visual reflection of the fact that he's more powerful. Because people need to grow. I feel like that's the theme that we're seeing is a lot of growth for the characters by accepting truths, right? So it could be the confession that pushes him over the edge, a truth that he has to accept in order to grow, possibly, or it could be the evil eye learning to accept something about his hatred towards the Keto, overcoming it even, and that might be the cause that pushes them to grow, right? But accepting truths about yourself seems to be connected to personal growth for the characters so far in this arc. Koki, Okarun, and this is the third one, so it feels like the best candidate here is JiJi. And then you're quite right, Momo literally has to grow. like Momo literally has to grow, which is even more so in tune with the arc. And maybe her confession could come alongside that to Okarun, right? Then you'd have the whole arc complete, right? As we get further into the arc and closer towards the end, these themes should become easier to identify and illustrate across the arc, right? I like JiJi as JiJi, but I think that his power set needs to be a bit more than whatever it is currently. Yeah, I think that there is room for these two to embrace each other in a more physical capacity, right? Like to be actually one in some degree, right? In a few years' time. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see, but like here are the sprinklings of it, right? That's my current theory for this part, is that maybe we get some kind of JiJi power up or yokai form or something. That's my current kind of like where I'm currently landing at the moment. Because everybody else, the other two, have come paired with the same thing. Yeah, and then I'm hoping that we get some kind of just relaxed thing. But I still think that Momo's going to lose her powers, because I think that we need to see the knives actually take someone's powers. Number one, we need to see it, or else it's not a threat. Number two, someone needs to yield. And they've already demonstrated that the way to yield is to target who people care about. They've made a point of both of these, right? The gun is above the fireplace with this. And Momo needs to grow. And her powers are important. They've made it very clear that her powers are important, specifically because of its ability to control auras. It just feels like that's the opportunity for Momo to confess her feelings, and also for for her to lose her powers, and then we can see why they want them, right? Yeah, P.E. Diddy did lose his powers as well, but I don't care about that guy, you know? I need stakes. like there need to be stakes, right? Yes, exactly, Blissy. The themes of Damara are don't even pertain to the whole entirety of the arc necessarily, but the themes in the second half are incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. And, you know, that doesn't illustrate, and it's impossible to know that that's happening until the end. You know? I just think that this has to be about, I think this has to be about Momo, for me. I just think it has to be. They've been separated for so long, too, that if they aren't put front and center, Momo and Okarun, when they're back, it's not going to feel like a lot, you know? It's like I feel like it has to be. I can't. It'd be interesting if they tried to take the evil eye from JiJi, because it doesn't feel like he can yield the evil eye because he's his own entity, right? But I don't know. Maybe he would. Maybe they take JiJi's powers and he confesses how he feels about Momo then. But for me, that wouldn't hit the same as Momo and Okarun. And we know that Okarun's on his way to the destination, the shrine as well now. So, you know, I feel like that is like, since the beginning of all of this, that's what's been in here for me. I've said it like 7 times now on the streams. I feel like that's the one. I feel like that has to be the one, man. But we'll see. We'll see, guys. You know, if you want it to really hit, it's got to be Momo and Okarun. You know, and the cheeked up cur soldier, I feel like the ultimate irony of her mission, or to show how far she's become like the people that she supposedly hates, would be for her to split up 2 people, or try to split up 2 people who love each other, because clearly she lost someone she cared about deeply, and that would be wrong. She'd be perpetuating the same pain that caused her to be on her path in the first place. Yeah, maybe. I can't see them not being on the way, right? Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, no, you're quite right. Enigma, I'm glad that you've enjoyed that you enjoy it. Because I always get sidetracked, and we're sidetracked now again. I can't help it, you know, especially when not that I don't enjoy this chapter, but I'm kind of like a little bit fighting out, right? I'm kind of tired of just fights. So describing it, I feel like me describing what's happening in this chapter is so much less engaging than somebody going and reading the chapter, just because it's also visually engaging, not very much from an analytical perspective. Like any of you who watch the retolds, when I'm describing the fights and stuff, I have to try my hardest to tie it back into being about character, right? Like in that last one, the Kaiju arc one, a lot of that is fighting as well. So when we're discussing Okarun and Momo fighting Vamola in the apartment block, I got to make it about them working together as a team, like being as one. Or when Kinta is in control of the mech, it's got to be about his passion, right? Which you'll note, by the way, guys, I had already written about prior to passion being a massive element in the manga. All right, so Tatsu spoke to me at that point somehow, because like that was my whole thing, right? In a way, he kind of fucked me over actually by making that like the week of the release of that video is when he starts introducing Kinta's passion as like a big thing. But I had already recorded and edited the Kinta's passion section in my video, so he kind of screwed me over in a way, because yeah, I don't know, it's like he did that on purpose, man. I'm pretty sure I called that section of the video Kinta's passion, so what the hell, dude? What the hell? Yeah, what the hell, man? No, don't tell him I said that, please. Please, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Momo tells the old bag to fire the sharks into the eye, and she does, and that is what pulls the lightning away from them, so they're able to get past its defenses and treat the sharks like a shield to pass through the electricity. And that's what they do. They go into the eye of the typhoon. Icky. And they just kind of skirt around the edges of it and go towards the typhoon itself. So everything underneath the eye, right? So cool. And now the idea is, and we get another little diagram here, the idea is for JiJi to fire his evil gun towards the sea, because a typhoon is caused by warm seawater and the water vapor that it generates going up into the actual typhoon. But the seawater is only warm down to about 50 or 100 meters, apparently, and below that is cold water. So by stirring up the seawater in the eye of the typhoon, they're able to make it cool down, and then the typhoon will dissipate, right? Yeah, I guess that's how they work, you know? No, I think JiJi will certainly confess at some point. Yeah, I don't know why this cryptid has showed up, to be honest. There has to be something here. Something. Someone's got to explain it. All right? I'm so confused as well. It like obviously it's been sent by someone, or it's a power that's been given to someone, right? By Count Saint Germain, right? Anyway, the JiJi calls her a genius, and Momo says, "I know," which is great. That's like a nice little. I hesitate to say callback, but it feels like a callback to that other time where I think it was in like chapter 2 or something, chapter 3, where is that right? Where Okarun calls her a genius, and she says that she knows. Well, that might have been later, actually. I don't remember. Is that chapter 2? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's not okay that I know that. It's not okay that I know that. I thought it was the Flatwoods monster. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, he does a little Uzumaki spiral in his hands, and he fires his Rasengan, his evil gun, down towards the sea. And the problem is that it's not strong enough. He needs more power. And it's worth acknowledging, by the way, Zuma also called her a genius. All right. Yeah, I guess it's just a recurring thing. The eye adjusts its gaze to focus on JiJi. And Zuma, for the record, is doing all of this blind, by the way, right? Like, he's doing all of this blind. So he grabs JiJi, and then he also combines his power of Zuma''s, Futa's umbrella, to further increase the power of the evil gun. Again, teamwork, inspiring more power, growth as a team, guys. There's another example of that, right? And they're also overcoming the problems that they had with each other at the beginning of the arc, or at least this section of the arc. You know, that is another good example of that. That's, you know, he's yeah, Zuma's pretty badass, guys. Zuma's pretty badass. Also, his whole umbrella thing is kind of cool as shit. You know, umbrellas are scary and dangerous, guys. All right, don't let anyone tell you that they're not. Yeah, but there's a, you know, like I said, they're combining their powers and they're stronger for it. No different than Okarun and Kinta combining into Kintokarun. Oh yeah, umbrella law is in the Discord. I actually deleted it. I'm never going to talk about the umbrella thing again. All right, anybody who wants to join the Discord, Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member. You know, you don't need to go onto the paid tiers, guys. It's always free, and that should get you access to the Discord link where you can join the best Dandadan community on the internet. I'm not even saying that. All the papers, they're the ones who are saying it, not me. It's not me. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger, guys. I don't know what to tell you. At a certain point, my hands are tied. You know? My hands are tied, guys. Alright, let's probably... That's the end of the chapter, guys. That's the end of the chapter. So I'm going to shift music. Because we do that. We do that. Honestly, I need one of those stream decks. You know? Imagine being able to just pop a button and change stuff. Pomade, yeah. Pomade. Alright, guys. Okay, hold on. Let me grab it. I'm gonna get this right on my own one day. Alright. Right, guys. So before we move on, as I mentioned before, that we only, you know, that I only everything's free, guys. Everything's free. I have no reason to even though there's no reason to necessarily support me, I try to provide where I can. I try to provide added value to the higher tier patrons, but you know, I only have so much that I can give. I'm already stretched so thin. So the people who do pay the higher tiers, again, always optional, guys. Like this, I can't stress this enough, everybody. But never feel obliged to do it. It's a tough world out there, guys, right? It's not easy. And I never expect anybody to pay for the channel. I'm always going to be fine, so don't feel obliged, all right? That's seriously, guys. But there are some people who do it anyway, and they're amazing and excellent. So I'm just going to quickly go down the list of names. So that's Blissy Cat, Burlap Sack, Danny, 5th Gram, currently named Generally Jellies, Hoopster, JMO, Orbis, Sarah. Apparently she's got multiple names. Senpai, Support. That's I don't know who these people are half the time because they keep changing the names, but I'm fine. Serpo and Wolf, the alternate Michael. And then Tim Kai. You guys are the absolute bomb, guys. Seriously, I don't know why you do it, but it is inspiring to me. And thank you. I don't know what else to say apart from thank you. Genuinely, It is incredible, you know. But everybody is incredible as well. You don't need to do that. It's just these people are crazy people, as far as I'm concerned, right? You know, anybody who's even dropped a penny, who's ever dropped a penny on the channel, guys, you have my genuine, undying gratitude, right? Anything at all is almost too much. Almost. So thank you. You know, Sevlo. Sorry, man. I missed what you were saying. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I guess if you try a different email. All right, Hoopster. No worries, dude. No worries. I'd DM you if I could. I don't think I can on YouTube, but I would DM you with just a link if I could. But hopefully you get that sorted out. It'd be great to see you over there. It'd be great to see you over there, dude. Yeah, no, the 200 that I think Hoops is gone, but the $200 that he dropped on the stream is a legendary moment, and it will go down in channel history. All right. Go down in channel history. The guy is absolutely just crazy. But he loves his Momo and Okarun, god damn it. And I respect that. I respect that kind of thing. You know? That was a great stream. That was probably my favorite stream. You know? Obviously besides this one. Guys. Obviously. That was a chapter though. That was a chapter right there. That was definitely a chapter. Again, not a bad chapter, just more fighting, you know. Yeah, obviously, apart from this stream. Yeah, I mean, like usually, guys, I usually turn this to the activity portion of the stream. Along the lines of, like, you know, typically a tier list. Yeah, no, you're right, Tuma, exactly. Typically a tier list, but I think I'm gonna give it a miss today, just because, like, it's been a day. I've been writing all day and all weekend, right? Like, and I write for a job, so I write in the week, and then in my spare time for leisure, I write. Right? So I'm just gonna give it a break today, just because I can't be bothered organizing stuff. So let's just chat, guys. Let's just hang out and chat. Has it been 33 chapters? Is that legit? That can't be right. That's not true. That's not true. He's wrong about that. No, it's not been 33 chapters, because no, since the hiatus. I guess it has been fighting since then, to be fair. Jesus, it's been a while, actually. It has been a while. I mean, since the hiatus, it's been about 15 chapters. And then since before that, it was also fighting. No, it wasn't. They had that bit where they were investigating. But there was the fight with the bull as well. Goddamn. Tell you what. You know, the roundhouse kick that Psycho does in like chapter 179. That's great. That's like one of my favorite panels. I'm a simple guy. It's been a lot of fighting, to be fair, but it's been like 15 since the hiatus, right? Yeah, this is definitely going to. This is a long arc, right? I know, Blissy, I know. Look, I get it. I agree. Um, yeah, since the hiatus, it's been pretty much just ongoing fighting. But I think what the difference is just that they haven't. I just want Momo to be normal size. All right, that's it. That's the truth of it. I just want Momo to be normal sized. That's all I want. I mean, when was the last time we saw normal size Momo? It's been so long since we've seen normal size Momo. She got shrunk and went into the board game in chapter 134. Right. So, if you count... No, surely not. What? No, that can't be right. Right, guys, I'm not... Oh my god. Guys, I'm not really a math kind of guy, right? I'm not really a math kind of guy. Do we have any math kind of people in the chat? Do we have any math people in the chat? This is going to be a cursed fact if it's true. Is anybody here a math person? I need an answer before I continue my line of my train of thought. Are you ready? I know. I'm just going to start saying it, right? And if it's simple math, right? Okay? So, hold on. Let me just make sure that I'm not crazy. Right. Okay. So, Momo Momo got knocked into the board game in chapter 134. Right? 134. We are currently on chapter 198. So, there have been 64 chapters since Momo went small to go into the board game. So, if you were to divide 64 by 198 and then times that by 100, you would arrive at a percentage, i.e. what percentage is 64 of 198. I'm reading here that percentage is approximately 32.3, a third. Are you telling me that Momo has been small for 1/3 of the manga? No. She's been small for 1/3 of the manga. You're welcome. Oh no. Why? We've just discovered something. If that becomes a well-known fact online, if that becomes circulated in Dandadan circles, guys, remember to tell them that it started here. All right? Remember to tell them that it started here. For almost 1/3 of the manga, Momo's been small. I mean, she has been small since then, right? She has been small since then, but I guess relative to each other, they were more or less normal size, right? But technically, she has been small since then, depending on how generous you want to be with the term small, right? And if you were to be less generous about it and just say since chapter 164, that's still 17%, right? That's still almost a fifth. So it's not that far off anyway. So there you go. There you go, guys. Yeah, Okarun was missing his balls for about 2/3 then. Damn. Yeah, that's serious business. She's not going to be big in chapter 200. No way. No way. No way. So even if you are being generous, right? Even if you are being generous with it, it's still almost a fifth of the manga. So, and it's just gonna get closer to a fifth and beyond it the longer we go without resolution. I don't know why I decided to figure any of this out for you guys. I don't know why I even did that. I'm sorry. Like, it's Jova. Sorry, guys. It's Jova. Yeah. I'm sorry? I guess? I'm sorry for being right all the time. I'm sorry for being so right all the time. Oh, good to see you, Sevlo. Good to see you, dude. See that you joined the Discord. Oh, yeah. I said that I'd do a Discord special. I said that I'd do a Discord special since we hit 100 members. And I'll do that, guys. I'll do it on a stage at some point, all right? I've got a few good ideas. It's very silly. It's very silly. I hope it better not be another 60 chapters. That'd be crazy, Orbis. How long has it been since they held hands? No, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I mean, to be fair, it's probably not been that long if you were to count the holding hands at the end of the Space Globalist arc. Because that was like, what, 100... Is it like 17? Something like that? 118. I was off. Yeah, so they held hands on 118. Right. So, it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while since they've held hands. Right. 6 or more chapters to hit a fifth. Right. We're gonna hit a fifth then. We're going to hit a fifth of the manga that she was small for sure. We're definitely going to hit a fifth. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to count those, I mean, they're kind of situational holding hands, though, Nachan. They're not really full-blown hand-holding. Full-blown hand-holding would be the Raiko Kashima, the 118, right? Like the power of Raiko Kashima would be the last time they just casually held hands, which would have been 40% of the manga ago. Nearly half. Oh, why? I don't know why I'm doing any of this. Why am I even going through? This is like hurtful. This hurts me. I'm taking splash damage from this shit, guys. I'm not doing it to hurt you guys. I don't know what to tell you. We saw Turbo Granny. Well, I suppose that wasn't that. Oh, well, how long was it? It wasn't that long ago, was it? It was... That was 165. 165 wasn't that long ago. That would be 17% as well. So more or less like 17%. So less than a fifth. Yeah, I did check out the lyrics. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the actual opening, to the actual OP. I mean, like, admittedly I haven't watched the last two trailers, the two that they released together, because there's too much in there for me. Like, I want to just experience that stuff in context, because that's how it hits me. I feel like if I see it all before and out of its context, I'm gonna be expecting to know what the scene's gonna look like, kind of thing. So I'm trying to avoid as much of it as possible. I just want to see it. I just want to get there. We're almost there. It's almost season 2, and then it's gonna be a while since we get anything new. More Rin than Turbo Granny. More Mai than Turbo Granny. No. Look, you know, like, that's fine, I guess. Look, you know, I try with Rin, guys. I try with Rin, but there, I don't know. I just kind of am so on her still. Well, you know, I'm working on a new video, guys, and I'm hoping that is, you know, gonna be ready around or by season 2. You know, I want it to be ready before the first episode, but the likelihood is, from the looks of things, it's probably gonna be maybe after the first episode, potentially. So it is what it is. You know, that's all part of the process, isn't it? You know what? No, Nachan, you're right. That counts. I just saw on the Discord. By the way, guys, anybody who's not in the Discord, Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member, and you'll get access to the Discord link. Best place on the internet for Dandadan, guys. On the Discord, just saw Nachan there. I agree. That definitely counts. You got me. You got me. All right. Consider me got. Avengers arc retold. Nay. Nay. My next video is a bit of a secret, actually. The Avengers arc. Cool. No, it's not that. My next video is a little bit of a secret. I'm not gonna say. So you'll find out when it's ready. Normally, I give highest tier patrons, so Dandadan and Yokai Power user tiers. I usually give them a little bit of early screening to the intro of the videos, but this one I feel like needs to stay with me. It's a big one. It's possibly going to be... It's definitely going to be at least 2 hours. It could be as long as 2.5 hours. And that's not like... Look, you know, that's not like I'm trying to stretch it to be that long. That's me compacting as much content into it as I can. part of me wants to strip it down, but I'm not going to, because it needs to not be, right? And I'm not going to say any more than that, okay? Don't guess, because I don't want to have to say no. So don't guess. Anyone typing a guess, don't do it, because I don't want to see your guesses. But anyway, that's irrelevant. What matters is that it is long. It's long. Like, as it stands, I'm at, I want to say 2/3 through. It might be a bit under 2/3, but I want to say 2/3 through, and it's about 55 pages, 54, 55 pages, which is about 17,000 words. I'm dying. Like, I just want to get it done. I want to get it done, because I'm just like, I regret ever coming up with the idea now. I just want to get it done, man, and then I can move on to the next thing, because I need to think about Thursday streams, guys. We're gonna have ourselves some Thursday streams when the anime is out, so that we can collectively go through that together. I don't exactly know what the format for that is going to look like just yet, but I want it to be as engaging and enjoyable as our manga streams, if not more. Dandadan Thursdays are back on the menu, boys. And I do think that we have a lot of opportunity there to grow the channel, guys. I mean, I want to just quickly as well draw a little bit of attention to the fact that that the Okarun video is doing so well recently. It's 48-hour viewership window, which is what is typically tracked as like a real-time update. Like, the past 48 hours it's done however many views. It's quadrupled in views per 48-hour window. So it's currently like, we're talking like nearly 900 views a day consistently for the past week, which is badass, because that's my favorite video, I think. Right, that's the one that for me is as perfect as it gets for the channel. So I'm really happy to see that it's getting attention after a few weeks of a few months of being up. That's very gratifying for me. When you work on a piece of content and you feel like it's special, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. I genuinely do. But when you work on a piece of content and you feel like it's special, or that you like it more, and it doesn't necessarily hit with people as much as you would like it to, that's a bit depressing. So when you see that it does hit with people and you feel like it's a special video, there's no better feeling. So this is a really, really cool thing to see. The first video for me also holds a special spot as well, Enigma. It holds a special spot for me as well. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy the content, Tuma. All right, Pickle, catch you. Stay chunking. Alright, no problem, Okarun, my guy. Hope you're doing well. It feels weird to call you that because I feel like Okarun's over there on the screen. But yeah, no, I mean, look, I stay chunking. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited for what season 2 can bring to the channel. I just wish that I was freer to make more stuff, because this is a really good period of time, and it's not going to last for very long, because when this is done, it's going to be a long time before we get more Dandadan. So, I'm probably going to have to do pivots in certain places to other kinds of of IP. Obviously, we'll always be coming back for the Monday streams or whatever. But you know, things were probably going to slow down a bit. They slowed down between season 1 and 2. I can only presume that they're going to slow down a lot between season 2 and 3, which will take a lot longer to get to, as you do. But we're gonna stay on it. It's just this is a great period of time, I find, and I wish that I had more opportunity to capitalize on it and get more content out there that people are going to see, because it's relevant. And you know, I love talking about Dandadan, obviously. So it's you know, it is what it is, right? Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Yeah, I really doubt it, Tuma. Netflix and yeah, a lot of shows, what they do, guys, is normally they would split the season into core 1 and core 2 in Japan, but here it would all be season 1, right? It's more marketable to call the second half of season 1 season 2, and that's what they did with Dandadan. It's what they've done with a bunch of other stuff. They've just split a season in half, season 1, season 2. But the downside to that, from a marketing perspective, that it makes a lot of sense to do that, because it's got more appeal than saying the second half of season 1, right? Yeah, a lot of anime do this as well. A lot of anime do this. A lot of TV shows do this. And if Netflix do it, then other people are going to start doing it, because that's marketing of it. It becomes the norm. But it means that all the stuff in season 2 was being worked on during production of season 1, right? It's all the same production cycle. When season 2's finished, they're going to have to gear up for season 3. And that means going back to the drawing board. It means completely starting from scratch. That's going to take years. That's basically the time that you're talking like 2 years at least for that kind of thing, as a normal season production would take, right? It's going to be a while, guys. It's going to be a while. Yeah, I mean, season 3 is pretty much going to have to be it's going to have to be like the whole Space Globalist arc. Yeah, I mean, Science Saru are working on some other stuff as well. I mean, I presume that there's going to be that the studio will grow as a consequence of the success of Dandadan. Like, they'll have a team presumably dedicated to Dandadan, but that'll be small in the early stages, until they can start properly allocating resources to animation and things like that, right? Because the writing side of it is going to be a very small production. It just always is. It's the directors and the writers. And then when all hands are on deck for the actual production to kick into effect, then you start bringing on the animators and everything, and it starts to get pieced together. But until it's written, it's going to take a while. You know, it's going to be years. I don't know what to say. It's going to be years. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not an expert on the production process. It's just I do know that it is not quite as linear as you would presume it to be. I mean, I assume that it would be a little bit quicker than the creation of season 1 and 2, because they've got the designs down. They don't need to like mess around with all the really early stuff. But you know, like, presumably they'll have to get bigger with each season as well. So it is what it is, really, isn't it? Animation takes a long time as well. Animation takes a long time, especially if you want to get it right. You know, this is why you see so many series and stuff pivoting to using CGI backgrounds and stuff like that, because it's just easier, you know. But I don't think it looks as good most of the time, but it is easier. You know. They're required by Tahoe. Yeah, I'm not really sure about what. It's a subsidiary of Toho. Yeah, I don't really know much about Toho. I'm not actually that into, believe it or not, I'm not actually that into anime. But I presume that it will just pump a bit more money into the production of stuff, right? Hopefully, that's it. Yeah, look, I mean, like, you've got to, yeah, if CGI means that the seasons actually get made, then so be it. But this is just the way that things are going, aren't they? Make their animation process a bit quicker. I'd be curious to see that, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not an easy thing, right? Like, I'm only really clued into where voiceover sits in the process, just because that's my background. You know, like generally speaking, I that's where how I'm familiar with it from any kind of real in-industry perspective. But voiceover is like right at the end. Like, so it's tricky. I mean, animators get treated like absolute garbage. So as far as I'm concerned, if they have to take longer to get this stuff done and get it done well and right, cool. That's fine with me. No problem. You know, like the crunch period is just grisly, you know. It's not good. To my understanding, season 1 of Dandadan didn't get that bad when it came to crunch, and I presume it's because they split the season in 2. You know, yeah, I suppose that would make sense, Enigma. I mean, I do think that they record the voices pretty early for anime. Yeah, I mean that would be the Japanese anyway, right? But the English dub would be like pretty much dead at the end, just because the English actors and all the other languages actually for that matter need to be able to match the mouth movements of the characters and also match the vibe of the original Japanese voices as well, which is why I think that the dub trailer came out so late, because I think that they literally have only just finished the dubs properly in the past month, and I presume that might also be yeah, I mean, I imagine that they're done now, but we'll see, right? Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, the truth is that we're just gonna have to be patient. We're just gonna have to be patient, and that's fine, you know. I mean, I just when it comes to the channel, probably gonna have to diversify a little bit into some other stuff, but there's a million different things to watch. Not all of it has the appeal of Dandadan. Not all of it has the appeal of Dandadan, and I get that. I agree with that. Generally speaking, there are I don't really go in for most anime generally, because I tend to just really focus on things I really like. Except for Persona, right? Maybe I'll do some Persona stuff. I've got a lot to say about Persona. I love Persona. But yeah, I mean, it's a tricky thing, right? Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of crossover between Persona fans and Dandadan fans, right? Like, they carry a lot of very similar traits, right? There's a lot of very similar elements to it. Yeah. You know what, guys? Best place to spam things that you guys like is in the Discord. All right? Join the Discord, guys. Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member. That's all it takes. And everything. What's better than free? What's better than free? I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing better than free. But anyway, in the Discord, best place on the internet for Dandadan, you get access to that link to the Discord just from that Patreon. Free member, join the Discord. What more is there to say? What more can you want? Right? It's as good as it gets. Also, you know, it's not just about the channel. It's not just about anything. I thought it would be just about the channel, and I thought it would be just about me spamming people with notifications about when I'm doing stuff. But it's taken on a life of its own, guys. The Discord has taken on a life of its own. The people there just are friends, from what I've gathered, and that's amazing. I've made some great friends, and it's just great over there. Everybody's supportive. It's nice to be part of a community, and that's a very valuable thing. You know, it's just nice. You know, it's a pretty you know, precarious world. So try and find good people where you can. You know, and honestly, it's the best place for it. Like, everybody there has been is so supportive of the channel, and everything that I'm doing and of each other. It's not just about the channel over there. Everybody's doing stuff. You know, people have met in real life as well, which is really exciting. Everybody's just interested in each other. They're very interesting as well. It's you know, it's as good as it gets. It really is as good as it gets, like, genuinely. But yeah, it's in my opinion, it's more than just a place to do Dandadan stuff, guys. Like it's just superb there. Genuinely, it is superb there. Yeah, I don't know why the Patreon would be not working, but hopefully it does work for you, Enigma. You're great to see any of you over there, genuinely. Over 100 members. I was supposed to do something special for the 100 member mark, but things kind of got a little bit, my schedule became more messy. So, I haven't done that yet, but I still have plans. They're all in place. My plans are in place, guys. Alright? I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Yeah, no, Danny's right. It's just become its own thing. And that's pretty damn cool. And look, I've got an arm for my microphone. Right? We're constantly improving things here. I'm going to get a shelf one of these days. I'm going to get a shelf one of these days. Think about that. And eventually, yes, we have plans for Minecraft as well. You know, I've got the PO box as well. One of the community members, Monardo, just sent me a package to that, which is pretty baller. I need to pick that up from the PO box, ideally tomorrow. So I might do a stage for it. As opposed to doing it on stream. The shelf. Yeah, no, I've not ordered the shelf. No, I've been improving other things monetarily. Right, I had to worry about the mic arm. Right, look how good that looks. I mean, come on,
It's getting a little dusty up there, but like, look at that. Yeah, no, don't. The old streams look like ass. The old streams look like ass dick, right? Now, we're getting there, all right? Look, we've got this lamp thing with a colored light bulb. Yeah, I know, because if you had this thing, this thing amazes me, right? Because I've got a monitor arm for my monitor here, right? And to move that around is a pain in the ass, right? It's a pain in the ass to move this thing around because you've got to untighten things and move it around and do that, do this, or whatever. Yeah, I'll do that for you, Eric. I'll do that for you, right? But this thing is, because it just works via counterweights, right? It just will sit at whatever angle you need it to, and it just sits there. Like, it's crazy to me that this thing just works like that. It's amazing, and it makes this whole thing so much easier. I could just like move anywhere. I don't have to be locked down here talking into this microphone or whatever, right? I can move wherever. If I'm playing a game, it's really easy. I'm looking there. I'm doing this. It's amazing. It's made the whole thing so much easier, so much simpler. And also, the past couple of days, I've also improved my router, and the Wi-Fi card in my PC. So my connection's more stable and it's stronger than ever. Stable and strong. Strong and stable. Oh, British politics. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the microphone is identical. This is the same microphone as I've always used. It's a very simple, basic Focusrite Scarlett. It came with the audio interface, so it's a really basic thing, right? But all in all, it's pretty good for what it is, right? Like, for a cheap microphone. Maybe one day I'll invest in a new microphone. I don't need to right now, but recording with it is actually quite good because it means that I don't need to. Right, basically, because of the way that this works, I have this shock absorber here. See this? That holds the microphone, which does exactly what it says on the tin. It absorbs the shock from any knocks or whatever on the table, right? You can obviously still hear it because it picks up sound, but the previous one didn't have that same kind of. I did have a shock absorber. It's the same shock absorber, but the arm was on the table, so any movements, any mouse movements whilst recording would be picked up as bumps. And you guys probably can't hear it when you're watching the videos, and I've done my best to remove them all, but there are occasionally things that I can hear because I did it, and it bothers me to this day. I'm looking to minimize that this time with this. The only problem is it's not so easy to get the pop filter on. But that's fine. This is probably really boring for you guys, so I apologize for talking about it excessively. I thought so, Nachan. I'm not going to repeat what it is that you just sent me, but I thought that would be the case, because when I did it, I was like, I know that that's triggered something. Alright, okay, I'm glad. No, well, this is all part of it. Like, I was recording some of the script that I've written, because it's going to take however long the video ends up being. Know that the recording process to get to that point took a solid twice as the amount of time that it took for you to hear it, right? I have to record stuff multiple times, and you can't hear it because of the compression of the stream, right? And stuff like that. But listening to a high quality audio playback of me recording on the microphone is the worst. Every single like when you talk, you don't realize how much noise your mouth makes that you don't intend it to. Especially when you're talking this close to a microphone, it picks up everything.
So if you're dehydrated, you can hear it, and it is not a pleasant thing to hear, right? Every P sound or B, all the plosives become that. They become P. It's awful. It's awful. And if you record it and you get that all comes through, you've got to start again. It's the worst. It is the worst. I tried to sit down with Xenoblade once, Tuma, but I didn't get very far. I'm going to be honest, I don't really care for handhelds. It's just not how I do my gaming. I can't. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't work with me, you know? Yeah, no, popping the mic is the worst, right? Like the pop filter tries to do its best, but it can't catch everything, especially because it's not the best pop filter. It's a really cheapo. Like, it's this. This is my pop filter. It's the cheapest thing. It's basically, look, I mean, this is basically just a pair of tights. That's all this is. It's just a pair of tights that's been stretched over a surface to catch the p noises and bounce them off or absorb them. I mean, I'm better than I used to be with it, because now I know how to properly control the microphone to minimize the pops coming through, right? Because I hold it at like it's at an angle towards me, but I talk past it, so the gushes of air go not towards the microphone, which creates that, you know, it catching the plosives. The air is what creates the plosive sound. I do it past the microphone towards this, so it's not directly at it, but it is still focusing on where the sound is coming from to minimize that element of it, right? And it's more pleasant for people to hear. Like, you guys don't want me to be making that noise on the mic, because it's uncomfortable, you know? I am... It depends on the game, Eric. If it's a first-person game, probably keyboard and mouse, but anything that's related to third-person, I typically prefer to have my hands on a controller. Unless it's an RPG, obviously. An RPG is going to be typically mouse and keyboard. I'd give it another shot, for sure. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces to do with Clair Obscur, but I've not looked at it at all, purely because I don't want to know too much about it, so I can go in a little bit blind. I've seen people playing it, though. I kind of want to play it. Alright, Enigma, no problem, man. I'd love to see you on the Discord, dude. Good to catch you. Hopefully I can see you next week here as well, dude. But thanks for joining. What was I saying? Yeah, no, see, it is something that I definitely would play. It's just, right now, I basically have frozen. I've frozen any form of enjoying life until the video's done. Enjoyment of life is not on the menu for the next month. 2 to 3 weeks, let's say. It's all video. There's nothing else. I just wish it was ready. I just wish it were ready. I wish I had more time to just do it. Even God took a day off. That's badass. That's fucking badass. No! You got rid of that. You got rid of that because of my ego. That's what you did. You got rid of that because it's my ego. How dare you? I already read it, so there's no undoing it. The ego is already been inflated there. What do I love about Koki? Damn, what don't I? Koki's the bomb. I'll get back to that in just a second, Eric. Um, the Yeah, I'm trying to get it to come out with the new season. That was that's my intention, is to get it out just after episode 1 or just before episode 1. I want to catch as much of I want to get on the train while it's still in the station, guys. That's my goal. Like I would love to get it out before season 1 starts. That is slowly slipping away because the scope of the video just keeps increasing. But I think I could probably... we'll see. After episode 1 or before episode 1? That's what we're talking about right now. I've never heard of Slay the Princess. That sounds interesting, Orbis. I'm going to look into that. Somebody take mental note of that. Somebody take mental note of what Orbis just said. I like the idea of chat participation. It's very fun. Right, back to Eric's question. Koki. I think that Koki is... It's kind of hard to put into words, right, at times. I think that Koki connects with me in a way that I don't find Rin to be like... I know that, like, you're just comparing apples to oranges at a certain point, but they are the last two major people to properly join the group, if you don't count Zuma. And they both have an element of kind of like, oh, they're kind of quiet and shy, but they have some history or whatever. I don't really know. I just think that there's something so sad about Koki as a character, right? Like, she's clearly incredibly special, and she's got some incredible talent locked away, but it's just I don't know. It's just really sad to see someone so magnificent force themselves to be less, partially because of the expectations that people placed upon them and not being able to meet those. Like, having that kind of expectation thrust on you to be some incredible thing, right? Some incredible entity, a prodigy, and then struggling to achieve that, and then being completely ignored or thrown to the side in favor of your sister or whatever, is really sad. And her I suppose her desperation to be seen is just incredibly sad to me as well. Like, going so far as to start posting images and stuff of herself as in some attempt for people to gratify some element of her being seen is really depressing. And then someone exploiting that is even worse too. Also, yeah, the way that she interacts with Ida is really great, because in a lot of ways they're kind of like flips of each other, right? I just think that everything about her is just so heartbreaking, and it is very similar to Okarun in a way. She's kind of got that same vibe to her. She's just overlooked completely overlooked for her whole life, and in a way that's worse than being hated or annoying. It's just people don't care enough to even see you, right? I think that's just dreadful. It's horrible. And when she plays, I can only imagine what it sounds like, right? But you don't need to know. You don't need to hear it to know what it sounds like. You can just figure it out. When she plays, you can tell from the way that she's drawn. I think the Lord of the Flies panel, where she plays the piano, might be my favorite panel in the entire series, because there is such like rapture in it. It's everything, all the pain and the hardship and the not being seen, it just disappears because it's just pure expression. Everything about the nuances of the layered elements of existence, right? Like social existence. it's cathartic, it's expressive, it's sad, it's emotional, and that is who she is, right? Like, that is the core of who she is. And the problem is that isn't enough for some people, because it isn't what they wanted from her. That like, it comes from here, it comes from a place that's deep within her, and that isn't necessarily the same thing that people want from you, right? That isn't necessarily, like, if you have something special that you know is you, okay, and you take that out into the world, okay, not everybody's going to see it that way. And a lot of the time, people only really gratify, justify, recognize when you do something if it is within the scope of what people want to see. A lot of the time, that's a commodity-based thing, right? Does it make money? If you can't make money doing something, then a lot of the time, people just think, oh, well, you should drop it. Oh, that's just a hobby, that kind of thing, right? You've all heard it. You've all dropped something because it's like, oh, well, you can't make a living doing that. Oh, you're not going to do anything with that. Nobody cares about that kind of thing. That doesn't mean that that's not an expression, man. That's not a part of who you are deep down. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't fucking do it, right? It's just, that is an example of value being determined based on what other people see as valuable, right? Her music, the way that she plays her music, it comes from something deep within her, but that clearly isn't necessarily reflective of what her parents wanted for her, or enough to win competitions, or whatever the hell, right? But that doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile, and that doesn't mean that it's not expressive. And when she plays in that panel, it's like all of that, the years of being unseen are just, you know, it just unfolds in front of you. And I think that that's just incredible. I mean, it's Dandadan, right? Like, at its heart, a lot of the people in the series are outcasts, people who have been maligned by the world, by existence, by society. And I think that fits the bill. I think that's what it's about. And I think that her perspective as a character of being maligned specifically is an incredibly attractive one, just because it's, I mean that in the sense that it is engaging or analytically attractive, rather, because of the fact that it's just so exploited. I mean, she existed to be exploited. Her parents exploited her and shoved her into these competitions, and the minute that she wasn't the best of the best, they cast her aside, right? She expressed herself physically through these photos, and that was exploited by P. Diddy. You know? She's a character that's been exploited. And she does that in that moment, not for other people or for other people's gratification, but for her. You know? As an expression of her. And nobody else. And that's why it's so powerful, and that's why it's so rapturous. And that's why I think Koki is so interesting. Is because there's someone in there. You know? Yeah. It's a lot of different things at once, Sevlo. And Orbis, you're quite right, yeah. That's a good way of putting it, Orbis, actually. And it, you know, once you're not the best, and then suddenly you realize, oh shit, I don't know why I'm doing this, because it's not really what I want to do. Of course you're not going to feel passion to do it, right? Yeah, I'd be curious to see more about Koki's life and her sister and things like that. In a lot of ways, her sister is in the same cycle as she is. It's just she's on the beneficiary side in this case. But I mean, look, it's a powerful it's a powerful metaphor, generally speaking, or analogy for everybody. And I think that's why it connects more so with me than for example, Rin. Rin's whole thing is powerful, no doubt, to someone who connects with it very strongly, but I don't really personally connect with a lot of the stuff that drives Rin, nor have I experienced anything like what Rin has experienced. So while I do understand it, I don't feel it in the same way, if that makes sense. Whereas Rin's thing, I think everybody feels a sense of that. You know, like we're all doing things, we're all commoditized and exploited. And if you don't offer, if you can't offer the expectations that these people or entities want from you and drag out of you and exploit you for, whether that's your labor or your ideas or anything like that, then you're cast aside. That could be personally. I hope it's not personally. But that oftentimes is professionally. You know, I've been through... Look, a lot of my great regrets in anything professional for me, without getting into details or whatever, my great regrets professionally are giving away ideas. It infuriates me to think about it, but there have been times, and as a writer, and not like a writer like an artsy-fartsy writer, I mean just like a marketing writer, right? Where you come up with a concept or an idea for something that you think, that comes from you, that you think would be a really good idea, and then you do it and implement it as part of some job or role, and it works. That isn't yours anymore. It never was, because you fucking gave it away. You gave it away to someone because you wanted a pat on the back. Because you wanted a pat on the back, or you wanted recognition from people who for the most part, you are just kind of a cog, right? And you know, I'm fine. This has nothing to do with my current personal or professional life, so don't worry about it. But I've had experiences like that, and then you're able to be thrown aside easily, and that idea that you had, that you could have taken with you, that came from you, because ideas, man, ideas don't just come from nowhere, they come from you. And if you give those up, they're worth their weight in gold a lot of the time. But that's an exploitation that you can't undo. And if you don't live up to those expectations consistently, then before you know it, you're cast aside, right? And that's Koki. For a while, she was the golden child. For a while, Koki was the golden child. But the minute that she stopped being beneficial to people who apparently don't care as much as they should, then she's the black sheep. You know? Yeah. I mean, everybody's experienced this to different degrees, guys. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be ideas. It doesn't need to necessarily be professional. It can be personal. It doesn't need to be idea-based. It could be laborious. It could be, like, to do with your work, your physical labor, whatever it is. The point is that we're all exploited in some capacity. That's unfortunately the way of the world, and it's sad to see that reflected in someone so young and so vulnerable and so alone as well. So her, as an outlier of society, joining up with the gang and finding gratification through that, and finding her voice, her music through that, is gratifying to me. I find that infinitely gratifying and cathartic and rapturous, and whatever other descriptive word, adjective you want to use to describe something good shining through. You know what I mean? Anyway. Rapture is Koki's word. I agree. That's the one that comes to my mind immediately, which is why she was named, her emoji was named that in the Discord. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Eric, Kinter is valuable to the group for sure. For sure. I can't do it. I can't do another speech on it. I don't know where, again, I don't know why it always ends up with a big thing, right? You know, like a big thing, but that's okay, man. I'm the one who did it. Look, I just really like Koki as a character. I think she's great. But yeah, if you want to know, yeah, that's a good point. You want to learn about the Kinta thing, Kaiju Arc video. That's the one. That's the one to go to. I've got a whole section on there. But anyway, yeah. You know what it is? I think you know, it's quite funny as well, because it feels like when we're on these streams, it's like he can't really have more to say about the same subject again. All right. I do. But I think that what's really what's really powerful about Dandadan is that you're able to inject so much of yourself into it, right? Like, you can just connect the dots of these characters. If you've lived a life comparable at all to this, you can connect the dots of your own life to what's experienced in there, because it does feel very real. So you can pour elements of yourself into it, or things that you've experienced. Hi Usa, bye Brand, it's good to have you, dude. But yeah, I know. Yeah. we did the chapter review, but yeah, no, I look, that for me is like the two of them sharing the same panel. The two of them sharing the same panel is as close as we're gonna get. So that's fine, you know. But anyway, yeah. No, my point is that you can kind of like inject so much of your own experiences, and yeah, I don't know. I think that's infinitely relatable in a lot of ways, right? Wasn't born without a weenie. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you. Yeah. Koga. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, the stages are kind of taking a back seat, Koga. Just because I'm obviously deep in video writing, making territory. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out exactly the double negative that I'm reading here, Usa. I wasn't born without a weenie, which means you were born with one? Is that what I'm reading? I don't, like, there's a double negative in there that's confusing me. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was born with one then. Right. Yeah, you've messed me up. I can't even figure out. Yeah, I agree, Koga. It was fun. But yeah, I don't know. I like Dandadan. It's great, which is why, like you know, it would be nice to see more of. I mean, to be fair, like the Koki stuff wasn't that long ago, right? It wasn't that long ago. So it's kind of like I think expecting more of stuff like that now is greedy almost, right? Like, I don't know. I just didn't think that they turned that character around so well when she was first introduced, if that makes sense. Need some rest. That's my secret, Shadow. I'm always tired. Yeah. But it's really subtly related. Like, I think this is the difference. I've wondered for a while what it is that triggers my brain and presumably all of your brains to not be able to put this down, this series down, and other people don't necessarily connect with it at all, or they can't be bothered getting, or they get bored, or they don't connect with it. I think that's the difference. The degree that someone might relate to it. And I don't just mean like oh, you were bullied in school or something, right? I mean, you watch anime, you were definitely bullied in school. Like, if you're here, I'm sorry that you were bullied in school, all right? You were, though. Like, you wouldn't be here if you weren't, okay? If you weren't, get out of here. What are you doing here? Like, it's the truth. But I think that it's deeper than that, right? Yeah, not for the anime necessarily, for whatever else. But I know that you were, guys. I know that you were. Doesn't need to be for the anime, but for something related to anything. My point is that there is a degree of relatability to this series that doesn't necessarily just have to stem from oh, I was bullied in school or whatever. It's for me, it's not about that, right? That's just a joke. For me, what it's about is being seen, if that makes sense. I think that I don't know how to express it without it just sounding like sad, so I'm probably not going to express it. You know, a lot of the time, I think that it's easy to kind of not necessarily fade into the background, right? I've never really. Sorry, I'm trying to think of how to word it in a way that makes me sound like I'm not a sad loser, right? It's not that I've necessarily ever been one to just fade. Talk with my hands. I do talk with my hands. It's what I do. All right, Coco, catch ya. There are elements to growing up in the way that I have, in the way that I have, that creates a situation, that creates situations where I was more comfortable being in the background, right? It's just you know, like that's just how it is. It's not necessarily. They're just, you know, like it happens. People get bullied, whatever. That's one thing. But also, you know, there are implications for certain traits, racial traits, whatever, that make it easier for you to kind of just be unnoticed, and preferred to be that. But that doesn't mean that you want that necessarily. You just think that you do. What you want is to just kind of skate by, right? But that doesn't mean you don't want to be noticed. Everybody wants to be noticed. Everybody wants to be significant. it's just a fact, right? Even if they don't realize that that's what they want, that's what they want. And it takes a long time, I think, for people to come to the conclusion and understanding that that is something that they ever wanted. And by that time, for a lot of people, the damage can be already done personally to them, or they can have a tough time making friends as a consequence of that. And I think that that's something that Dandadan kind of like addresses, because I think one of the things that I find really, really sad, right, about life, right, and this is not about me, this is just about people in general, right, is that people need just the tiniest push most of the time, right? That's the truth of it, right? Is that people require the tiniest push to be themselves, or to be better than themselves, or to learn to want to be better than themselves. It's just the tiniest little push is what it takes most of the time. But a lot of the time, people don't even get that. People don't take the time to give someone that tiniest little push to be better. Or just a bit of inspiration, and that's really sad, because presumably look at Okarun, right? You look at Okarun as a character, and it didn't take much, right? It just took someone standing up for him for once to become everything else that he became since that point. And that's not just charity either, because it has a bounce back as well. He has come into his own as a consequence of Momo standing up for him, but as a side effect of that, he's also provided her with all of these qualities that he had beneath the surface that he just never had the capacity to harness before. And I think that's such a good, and it's not the same thing as like some random like anime boy who creates some goddamn harem of monster girls, right? That's ridiculous shit. Okay, because they don't have actual character traits that are really worthwhile. They're just self-inserts. Okarun is a character, and he's got his own stuff going on, his own traits going on. He's not just you, he's not just me. He's him. And watching that, I think, is an inspiration. And it's authentic, and it's real, and it's raw, and it doesn't bend. Like, it tells its story, and I like that. And all the characters feel real, and they don't linger around like, oh, we rubbed shoulders together, so I need to freak out for 20 minutes. It's like, they don't do that, right? Like they act like fucking people do. And it's amazing. Like, what else is there, right? Yeah, no, that's it. No, you're right, Shadow. Like, people with social anxiety, and everybody when they're teenagers, for the most part, has social anxieties, right? I'm fine at this point. I'm not an unconfident person anymore. And for a lot of people, they agonize over saying hello. I mean, like you said, Shadow, like you're saying. I mean, I guess it's like Okarun trying to say hi to Momo. They've spent the past few days together, and he can't even figure out how to say hi to her the next day. Like, that's just real, man. Like, people are like that. People are that neurotic. And even saying hi to someone is a lot. Look, I mean, hey, I don't know. I think we all have a bit of an obligation to be better. You know? I think everybody's done stuff that they're not happy about or proud of, or treated somebody less charitably than they should have. And a lot of the time, those kind of like actions are projections more than they are anything else. But you know, that stuff happens, and the best that you can do is try to be a little bit better, a little more charitable, and try to presume or remember that everybody's got their own shit going on, man. And a lot of the time, if you're just a little bit nice, most people take that well, especially people without confidence, right? Yeah, I like just chatting, guys. I mean, it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing because I am kind of just blabbing, you know, like, you know, I don't know. It's a lot of this sounds like it's all just me talking about me, but I'm not necessarily. Like I'm not a particularly neurotic individual. Like that's the reality of it is that I don't feel strong social awkwardness. I don't feel strong social anxiety. I mean, like, if I go to a party that I don't know anybody or something like that, like, as an example, I'll probably be a bit awkward, but anybody would be. I'm not a social butterfly, right? But I'm not socially awkward. Like, I'm okay with communicating with people I've just met. A lot of people aren't, though. And if you are comfortable with that kind of thing, usually you need to double down on making space for other people to feel more comfortable as well. And that's something that I'm still learning, right? Is that you need to kind of, like I said, be a bit charitable and give people a little bit of a push to be more open, you know? Because, like I said, most of the time, all it takes for people is just a little bit of a push, you know? Yeah. No, you're right, Orbis. It goes both ways for sure. And most of the time, these relationships aren't just. You're not just being you're not just being a charitable individual. You are you're opening up that person to also impact you as well, in ways that you don't necessarily expect, because everybody has something to offer. A hermit with great communication skills. I'm a little bit of a hermit these days, to be honest. That's true. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But hey, you know, that's how I do. I mean, like, look, it's weird. Yeah, it is weird. I mean, to be honest, this like this thing here, the great works keep him locked inside. Yes, that's true. I am nothing more than a scribe for the great works. I don't know. I think that you have to be a bit of a weirdo. You have to be a bit of a weirdo to do what I'm doing here. This isn't normal. I mean, like, this isn't normal, right? What I'm doing here is not normal. Oh, Shadow, yes, you're quite right. Up there, yeah. I'm something of a Diogenes myself. I do sleep in a cardboard box and growl at people who walk past. No, yeah, this is my point. What this is, right? This thing here is not remotely normal, right? That doesn't mean it's bad. I enjoy it a lot, and that's what really matters at the end of the day, is that I enjoy doing it, okay? But this isn't normal. And it takes, I think, it takes a I don't know, like I think there has to be something in your personality. Some of you probably have it. It's not like a super unique thing, like, oh, you're 1 in a trillion kind of like whatever. It definitely requires like a very specific kind of character trait. I mean, you have to be a bit of a attention seeker. Maybe not seeker, not seeker, but you have to kind of enjoy the limelight a little bit too much, right? I think that you do, even if you're embarrassed by it, which I am. You definitely are, support, yeah. Oh. I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm kidding. Oh my god. Come on. No, it's not seeking the limelight. There's a difference. There's a difference. Right? Alright, Sevelo, I hope to see you in the Discord, dude. Thanks for joining. You don't necessarily need to seek the limelight. I don't seek it, but you have to enjoy it a bit. Right? Like, it's like being a drama kid. If you enjoy performing, then you enjoy being seen performing, right? What's the point otherwise? You're not going to do it for yourself, are you? I don't seek it, right? Definitely. Yeah, no, I was a bit of a drama kid. I did drama for my A levels. I did drama for my A levels. No, I don't seek attention, right? But I do enjoy the heart of the performance of it, right? I think that is the distinction, actually. That is the distinction. I love and enjoy Les Michael. Michael. It's the drama of it. It's the performance element of it. That's the bit that I am engaged by, right? Even this is to a degree a performance, right? Not fully. This is the least performative element of the persona, the Persona 5, the animation. This is the least performative degree of it, but make no mistake, there is a performative element at play here as well. There has to be, or else it would be boring as shit. It would be boring as shit, right? Like. Yeah, you have. I was very proud of that sport. No, I mean, I'm genuinely interested by the kind of like internal mechanisms that govern things like social behavior, especially when it's like this, when it's like broadcasted, because there has to be a performative element of it. This isn't a conversation necessarily because I'm talking at a fucking camera, right? This isn't a conversation because you're not talking back at me. And if you do, there's a delay and it's not in the same format. It's not the same thing, right? Even though there is a conversational element to it, it's not a conversation. Even though there's a performative element of it, it's not really a performance. It's somewhere in between the two. And I think that that's a really interesting place to be, right? And you'll note that the earliest streams were, in my opinion, the least entertaining. Not to say that they were boring, but they were the least entertaining because I didn't know how to engage with the performative element, So it was kind of a little bit boring because it was just kind of me talking at you guys and trying to figure out exactly what makes everybody tick and what makes it interesting and what I'm interested in saying, that kind of thing. In the noise complaints. I don't know who lives in this. I don't know who lives in this entire block of flats, by the way, right? I don't know who lives here. I don't know who my downstairs neighbor is. All right? I don't know what it is about where I'm living, but I don't know if anybody else lives here. Now I do sound crazy. They never open the windows, right? They never open the windows. I don't know what to tell you. Look. I think I've already spoke about this before. Once I came back to my flat. I came up the stairs, and the flat beneath me, they had a McDonald's delivery sat outside of their door. Right? They just ordered McDonald's. It was warm. You could see the steam coming off of the coffee. Right? Okay. And then, wait, let me get through this show. Right? And then I was like, oh, okay. Weird that they didn't pick it up immediately, but whatever. Next day I go downstairs. It's still there. I'm like, well, that's not normal. I'm on my way to work. I need to go to work. I leave. I go to work. I come back. It's still there. And for the next 2 days, it's still there. So not only did they not come out and pick up this food that they explicitly ordered, they ordered this food to eat. Presumably they were hungry, right? Not only did they not eat it or clean it, nobody else did either. They all walked past it, and I never even saw them. No, I know I didn't call it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's not the most responsible thing to do, right? You know what I mean? But eventually it did disappear. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know who these people are. But they don't open the windows. I've met a couple of people in this block, but like not communicated, right? I got somebody's parcel the other day. And you know how you get the parcel or whatever, and then they'll leave a note at your door just to say you weren't in at the time, but we did deliver your parcel, right? Okay. And it's like, oh my god, out of focus. And it's like, okay, cool, whatever. Don't mind doing that. But instead of coming over and knocking on my door, they left a note stickied to the outside of my door, knocked, then left, and then I opened my door and they weren't there, like a fucking ghost, and this note was stickied on my door saying, you have my parcel. I was like, alright, yeah, there's just like leave it outside my door. I'm like, fucking cool, alright, I guess so, I guess I'll do that. I don't know why you didn't just knock on my door and wait. Like, why did you do that? It's so strange. And it's like, I'm not convinced they're not phantoms. This is what I'm saying. I'm not convinced that they weren't phantoms. They could be phantoms. All right, I'm not discounting that. Yeah, all right, Shadow, good to see you, my dude. I'm not the only one in the building, man. I'm not the only one in the building. The only one that I've seen is there's a family on the bottom floor. I've met them, but they don't talk to me. Oh my god. The last flat I was in, nobody talked to me either. I'm telling you, right? I don't know what it is. They've obviously... I don't know. People just don't like me. Oh, no. Which is a shame. Because I'm a joy. I'm a joy to be around. Ask anyone. I mean, look at you guys. Hanging out here. I'm a joy. Okay. Sorry, I have an itch in my ear. Alright, I'm a joy. Ask anyone. Just not my neighbours. For some reason. I don't know why. Hanging out with me is
pure bliss. I assure you. I assure you that. So I don't know. Whatever. They're probably just intimidated by me. They're scared that I'm cooler than them. Which makes sense, I suppose. Kind of am. But hey, what are you gonna do? You know, it's a burden. It's a burden for sure. This predates it. Yeah. This is years prior. For the record, this is another thing. I've been here for years. I've not met these people, and I've been here for years now. I don't know what they're doing. Do they not leave their homes? I don't leave mine, so I can't really talk, but maybe they think the same as me. Maybe they wonder the same of me. They're scared by my potential. I'm not stealing the parcels. No. I'm not stealing anyone's parcels, I swear. I swear. Honestly, I swear. I'm not stuck in a dimensional rift. No, because then I will seem crazy, Blissy. You know what I mean? What was if someone says, why have you got this camera here? And I'll be like, I just wanted to make sure that you were real. You know? It could just be me here. Yes, I do have a parcel that has been that's in my PO box. I need to go pick it up. I need to leave my home to go and pick up the parcel. All right. So I might do that tomorrow if I have time. Monado sent it. And I'll show that on stage whenever I can do that. You know, they're like, oh no, just leave the McDonald's outside. No, he's coming. He's on his way. Leave the McDonald's outside. No, but I look forward to showing off the parcel, guys, because you know, it sounds fun. I'm sure it's very cool. I'm sure it's full of all different kinds of stuff. Very cool to actually, you know, whenever I get a message through, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed in a minute. Don't tell me what to do. Whenever I see a my PO box being used, right? Whenever I get an email through that says that, oh, you got a delivery or something, I'm like, oh my god, someone's actually using it, right? Like, I paid for 6 months in advance because it was cheaper that way, and I think I've made good use out of it. I think I'm at. The question is, I suppose. The question is, I suppose, whether or not I keep it as a running thing when the 6 months expires, which is probably going to be in another 4 months max. I might keep it running. I don't like presuming. I don't like presuming that people are going to send stuff, right? Like, yeah, it's easy for you, Blissy, because you just need to slap a stamp on something and send it, and it's like as much as the stamp is, right? For people in the States and stuff, it's like a million years, and they don't know if I'm gonna get it or not. No, there's a weird kind of like there's a kind of weird self-aggrandizement kind of imposter element to running the PO box, because it comes with the presumption that people are going to send you stuff, and like, I don't know how to describe it. I hope that it makes a degree of sense, right?
on your guys' end. But that kind of like presumption feels almost narcissistic to me, and maybe that's just a me thing, right? But the idea that I'm like, oh well, people are gonna send me stuff because I'm kind of, it's like I'm saying like, oh, you know, I'm kind of a big deal. It's like my biggest like obstacle in so many different ways is that the legitimacy of all of this, it is always constantly in question to me, right? It feels illegitimate, right? Even though that, like, you know, there are supporters, there are paid supporters, people watch the content, ad revenue comes through, it still feels illegitimate. And it feels like weird to presume that people are going to use the PO box, I guess. It feels like I said, self-aggrandizing in a way, or narcissistic, or delulu. Yeah, send me whatever. Send me random shit. Send me whisper bars, whisper golds. Yeah, I have a PO box, Orbis. Yeah, I mean it's on the Discord. It's on the Discord somewhere. It's buried somewhere in the announcements on the Discord. But if anybody wanted to know it, just DM me and I can just provide you with it if you can't be bothered looking for the PO box. Yeah, no, you're right, Blissy. I totally get that, and you are right. Like, that's what I tell myself, is that people want to do that, or people have done that already. People have done that, right? Multiple times at this point. It's just it still is something that doesn't, you know, it doesn't track, it doesn't scan to me, because it feels, it's still very surreal, right? Like, obviously this whole thing that I'm doing here, I mean, there's what, 11 of you guys right now. I'm not exactly, you know, we're not pulling in huge numbers of viewers or whatever. It's not a celebrity thing, right? But when you start to kind of like, it presumes, I suppose, it feels like it's you as the creator, in this instance me. It feels like you are conflating what you're doing with something like celebrity, and that makes it feel illegitimate. That's what makes it feel like self-aggrandizing, because you're presuming a degree of appeal towards the channel, the content, the personality. It's a complicated thing, guys. Like, I don't know. Maybe I need a therapist. That's how you know you've made it. You've got a therapist. Oh my god, I've got a therapist. I missed the Girl Scout cookie arc as well. That was a great arc. I shared out some of those cookies, by the way, when I was in London. Did I mention that, support? I don't think I did. I don't think I did mention that. But, yeah. Yeah, the Do-si-dos too. They're the peanut butter ones, aren't they? Right. They're not as good as the Thin Mints are my thing. The Thin Mints are, god damn, those Thin Mints are good. Yeah, I mean they're all good, to be honest. Like, but they ain't no Thin Mints. They ain't no Thin Mints. I've only got half a pack left. I'm gonna eat them all on the season 2 premiere. That's what I'm gonna do. Season 2 premiere. I'm gonna eat all of my Thin Mints. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sneeze now. Excuse me. I've got hay fever. A fever for hay? Ridiculous. Tell you what I might do again though, guys, is I'm gonna leave in just a minute. What I might do is later on this week I might go on here. I just don't want to do it right now. Yeah. But I might do another one of those writing stages later on in the week. I might do another one of those writing stages later in the week because it kept me focused. You know, I've got so much done, but there's so much to be done. I might see. I might do it tomorrow, perhaps. I don't know. I might do that. I've not decided. I'll see. I'll see. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But if I'm writing, I kind of want to get it done tomorrow. Yeah, it's good. I think that it kind of like creates like a space for people to just get stuff done. No, I mean, Orbis, I know what you mean, dude. Like I don't I don't really I do think that there is an element of any kind of you know what it is, right? That there is obviously more of you guys than there is of me. There's just me, and then there's all of you. So there kind of has to be. I think it would be foolish for anybody to presume that there isn't a ever so slight parasocial tinge to some of the relationships that you form online like this. That's natural, obviously. It's not like a presumption. Like a lot of people would say that is not an element to it. There has to be an element of that, insofar as like any relationship can be somewhat parasocial. I have parasocial relationships, right, where I give more of my energy than the other person can give back to me. That is a parasocial thing. It doesn't need to be an entirely parasocial thing. I feel, especially with people in the Discord, I feel that the majority of those friendships are almost exclusively just friendships, just normal online friendships. I don't feel particularly, for the vast majority, I don't feel like I am on some other higher level, right? Which is what it would be, right? I don't feel like that. I hope that nobody else feels like that's the case, because I don't feel like that at all. I do think that like, if someone felt like it was like they had developed some degree of parasocial element, right? I hope that is something that they would feel, you know, compelled to kind of deal with, because you know, I'm a friend. I like to think of myself as a friend for the majority of people that I've communicated with. I don't feel like I'm above anyone, or that anybody expects me to be their BFFFF all the time kind of thing, right? Like, I think everybody has very real expectations of me, and that is a really great basis for a friendship, I think. You know? No, Orbis, Totally. 100%. You're, because you're right, you've been here since the beginning. In fact, everybody that is here currently in the chat, to my knowledge, is an OG, right? I couldn't have done the things that I've decided to do with the channel without that kind of support. And you know, I don't think that necessarily that is a bad thing. In a lot of ways, that's deeper than most friendships, in my opinion, than most like normal friendships. My point is, I suppose, and I hope that this is what is coming through, is that you guys are going to know more about me, generally speaking, and what I think and feel, than I am going to know about everybody else, right? I mean, there's going to be a few people that I know a lot about, who I communicate with a lot, or that have been here for a very, very long time, where that becomes a slightly different thing. But generally speaking, you guys are going to know more about me and what makes me tick and my personality and things like that than I'm going to know about everybody, right? Like, even on the Discord, there's 109 people there now. I can't know as much about you guys, all of you, as you know about me, but a lot of people, you know, are just friends. It's just friends. It's just normal friendships. And that's great. Yes, Danny's right. Yeah. These are all very genuine connections, right? I hope that nobody feels like it ever gets to a point where I am pretending to care about people's the relationships that I have with anybody, because I don't pretend, right? As a general point of rule of thumb, I really do not lie about things. I don't have energy to do that. I think that it's exhausting to do that kind of thing. And like, everybody, you'll see that like, you know, YouTube entities and stuff really want to drive the parasocial side of things to its extremities as a way of kind of exploiting or yeah, I mean, exploiting certain behavioral traits out of them, right? Getting them to follow, getting them to stay invested in the content, whatever. When I'm talking to you guys, I'm being as authentic and honest as I can be about what I think, what I feel, and the fact that I feel how I feel about anybody that I'm talking to at any moment. I'm not going to say to any of you that I think you are, what would you say, anything different than what I actually think or feel about you guys, right? I think that, yeah, Orbis, I think everybody here is so non-toxic, it's amazing. I think everybody is an inspiration here because of the fact that we've built this community together. That's an earned shared experience that I feel like we've all connected with and built together. And I can't express how much I owe everybody who was involved in that, right? I just think that at least from my perspective, this isn't a parasocial thing, right? And I try my hardest to not give anybody any false presuppositions about that, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. In the same sense, right, by the way, guys, in the same sense, nobody owes me jack, right? Like genuinely, bro friends. It's like when people donate or people spend lots and lots of time on the Discord doing a specific role or whatever it is, right? I only ever want people to give what they can give. And I mean that energy-wise, whatever, right? If you feel that you are pushing, or you are giving more than you can give, like, emotionally to the Discord, then take a step back, whatever, you know? It always means more to me that people feel comfortable talking to me about something. If there's something going on, or someone is saying something, or there's a community member that's being weird, or whatever, talk to me. Talk to one of the moderators, talk to anybody, right? Because, like you said, Orbis, this is an incredibly non-toxic community, and I really want it to stay like that, to the best of my ability. This is why I keep the Discord locked behind the Patreon link, because it means I can create connections between the people on Discord through the Patreon. It also creates a filter to stop people from just joining like crazy, right? It creates that extra step that filters out people who really don't care about the community, because I do a lot, and I know that the people who are there care a lot. I want to keep it that way because it's an incredible place. Like, the Discord is genuinely, like, I spend way too much time on there. It's hard to rip myself away from it because of that, you know? Yeah. No, yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right, Fifth Gram. Like, yeah. I mean, it's like what I was. I said it not long back. I don't remember in what format I said it, but let's just use Danny for an example, right? Let's use Danny for an example. You were on the first stream, right? So was Nachan and a bunch of other people, right? You're on the first stream, and that was a very difficult experience for me. Was that first stream, because I didn't, like, you got to understand that it was an idea that I had only came up with the day before, and it was purely to kind of plug the gaps between the videos, because they were taking longer to do because I had more work on my plate. So it was a difficult experience, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it would have been incredibly embarrassing if there was no quality feedback. Some people, and again, this is just an example of one instance, right? Danny, Hoops, Nachan was there as well. You know, a lot of people, right? A lot of people who are in the community now. I think Orbis, you might have been there. I think Enigma might have been there for a minute. But my point is that kind of support for me was very important in crafting the community in a way that made me want to continue. Because if that had crashed and burned, I wouldn't be doing this, right? I'd be scarred for life. That would have scarred me for fucking ever, right? That, to me, the people who were there for that, for instance, or like going to meet Blissy and Nachan, for example, in London, those things to me are really important examples of those are very important examples to me of people who have burned into my brain, who I'll never forget, because of the fact that they helped me in these moments, or I had the opportunity to meet them, or in Orbis's case, for instance, he was the first member. These are things that are burned into my brain, right? And they're also things I'm not going to forget. Okay? That's not like a parasocial thing. That just means a lot to me, right? Like, you know, and support. I'm not going to forget you either, right? I'm not going to forget you either because of the way that you came barreling into your first stream. Like the reason Ida stayed on A tier is because of you, right? There are some things about some people that I'm gonna remember for genuinely forever. And this isn't an exhaustive list, by the way, guys. Everybody whose name that I remember is in here, right? And it's not going anywhere. Yes, I value you as well, Danny. Like genuinely, I do. It is seared into my brain, and that's not a one-way street with this relationship. Is my point. So generally speaking, to cap off what I'm trying to say, some relationships, I mean, at this point there are, like, what's the counter at? Like, we're at nearly 3,500 subs, right? Which is fucking wild to me. I'm not going to be friends with everybody there, and there are some people who I'm going to kind of have a slightly less close relationship with. It's just the nature of these things, and they're going to know more about me than I can about them. But that doesn't mean that that people who make an impression, or that are really there for me, or that influence the channel and the community and really put their all into it and help build this community, help develop this community, everybody in the Discord, those people I don't forget, right? And I am eternally grateful for, right? And these are debts that I can't repay. None of you owe me anything, but I owe you all a lot, right? Because my life is such a complicated thing, right? And for me, I am in one of the best places I've been in my life. Okay? It's not perfect. Nothing ever is. But I'm in one of the best places in my life currently. And that's largely due to all of this. Right? When I talk about Koki feeling seen, I feel seen. You know? I don't know what else to say beyond that. So it's like, yes, there are going to be parasocial elements to the community, and I don't deny that, right? Like, I can't deny that. It's part of the game, you know. I try to be personable because it's makes me likable, more likable, more interesting. Even acting abrasive is part of that. It's part of that. It has to be part of the performance. But that doesn't mean that it's all fake, and it doesn't mean that it's not true, or that that's not me. It is. It's just different versions of me, and it doesn't mean that I don't see it. I do. I see it. Okay, guys. I give a shit. Okay. So if anybody's whatever, okay, I'm about, okay, on the Discord. Join the Discord. Free Patreon link in the description. Thanks, Koga. I appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well, man. I'm glad to hear that, Orbis. I'm glad to hear that. I remember. One last plug for the road. Not to sound rude. Is this your stream? I'm sorry, support. I am going to bed. It is late. Yeah. No, I hear what you mean, Orbis. Look, again, it's a tightrope, guys. It's a tightrope. Also, I'm very pleased to see that people just call it Betty Boos now. I'm very pleased to see that people just call it Betty Boos. Damn. Tell you what, though, that Okarun video is now at 1.7k over 2 days. Goddamn. Goddamn. People like it. People are appreciating it. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Sometimes I ramble, guys. Sometimes I ramble, you know that by now, but yeah, no, I when I say things I mean it is my point. Okay. Whatever. Oh my god, whatever. Yeah, this is why I want to take advantage of season 2 as much as I can. But that's not for today. That's not for today. I'm gonna go to bed now. But it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure as always, guys. Anyway, nighty night.